Good morning. Thank you to the forum organizers for inviting me to speak for the third consecutive year at this distinguished Research Education Business Forum. This time, I will focus on the challenges of public education in competing with disinformation and infodemic. For the last decade, we talk of the potential use of online technologies for education. Now confronted with COVID-19, no more talk, but action is needed as a consequence of lockdowns, house arrest, and physical distancing imperatives. In less than 6 months, there are strong indications that our business as usual in education will soon change forever. The era of virtual distance and cyber cloud-based mobile public education is here to stay. There's no turning back to the pre-COVID-19 public education regime. However, wider adoption of such technologies in public education is still a human resource challenge. It is possibly due to complacency, bureaucracy, incompetency, psychological insecurity, comfort zone worries, and other socio-cultural barriers. Many of the human resources, learning strategies and methods, and operational management requirements are not ready nor adequate for instant, wider scale application. Furthermore, democratization of information and communication give rise to crowdsourcing. It provides the netizen rights to information access, production, and distribution with or without credibility, validity, and responsibilities. And here lies the more difficult problem. Educators must not only cope with the mastery of new online learning technologies and methods. Most importantly, in this post-truth era of hoax and fake communication, educators must be trained to immunize and protect their learners from infodemic and disinformation. Education curricula must incorporate preventive and critical ability for students to become smart and astute learners and communicators to counterattack disinformation. As stated in the recent UNESCO policy brief of 2020, if information is empowering, then disinformation is disempowering. Let us now see a few concepts on how to develop strategies to combat infodemic and disinformation problems in distance public education activities. Afterwards, I'll be happy to discuss further these ideas and other related issues with all the distinguished forum panelists and audience. Okay, let's now share some information about infodemic and disinformation. Today we live in a post-truth era. And therefore, we need to teach our students, our audiences, on how to survive the post-truth world. Back in 1961, William McGuire, a professor at Yale and Columbia Universities, proposed a theory of communication inoculation, and he demonstrated that vulnerability to persuasion could be prevented by belief immunization. And therefore, public education from elementary school to university level, including non-formal continuing education for all, will have to include in their curriculum issues about criticalness and astuteness of communication processing, communicating ethics, integrity and responsibilities, netiquette in using digital cyber media, virtues of local wisdom, civic values and responsibility, including information filtering and management by applying principles of inoculation theory. In addition, such curriculum will need to include cyber law and digital communication ethics. It will also need to promote specialized education on cybersecurity and cyber forensics. And of course, to lobby and support legislation and reinforcement of such cyber law regulations and information privacy rights. The issue, however, is to balance privacy with our own willingness to control ourselves and to what extent we will need to have privacy data and information to be protected. In Europe, we already have the General Data Protection Regulation, GDPR. And these are some of the issues we need to address and discuss during our discussion. Thank you very much.